You think you're using the app. Cute. The app is using you, and it's better at its job than you are at yours. Here's the part they don't put in the ads. The first president of Facebook stood in front of a room of people and admitted the whole thing was designed to exploit, his words, a vulnerability in human psychology, not a side effect. The plan. He called it a social validation feedback loop. Translation, give you a little hit, watch you come back for more. And then he said the quiet part out loud. The people who built it understood exactly what they were doing to you, and they did it anyway. That little heart you chase, internally they called it the awesome button. A handful of engineers built it in a single night. They knew what it would do. It's the same trick as a slot machine. You don't win every time, you win sometimes. And the sometimes is the hook. Pull the lever, refresh. Pull the lever, refresh. And the feed doesn't end because it was engineered to never end. The man who invented the bottomless scroll now says he feels guilty about it. He compared it to sprinkling behavioral cocaine across your screen. So ask the only question that matters. If the product is free, what's being sold? You are. Your attention is the merchandise, auctioned off to advertisers by the millisecond. That's the entire business. One of these companies now pulls in about $57 a year off the average human alive, just for keeping their eyes on the glass. Multiply that by billions of people. So it's not a tool. A tool sits still until you pick it up. This thing reaches for you. Question. When was the last time you opened it because you actually decided to? Everyone you follow is lying to you, including your best friend, including you. Not con artist lying, theater. There's an old idea that every person has a front stage, the version we perform for an audience, and a backstage where we drop the act and become an actual human being. You need the backstage. It's where you rest. It's where you're real. Social media bulldozed the backstage. Now the performance never stops. There's no green room. You wake up and you're on. Even your candid photo took 11 takes. Even your messy hair, don't care selfie got picked from 40. You are curating a person and calling it your life. And here's what the research actually found, and it's brutal. It's not the posting that hurts you most. It's the watching. The silent, passive scrolling through everyone else's highlight reel. That's what quietly poisons you, and it does it through one specific emotion: envy. In one experiment, an afternoon of just scrolling left people feeling around 9% worse by the end of the day. You didn't do anything. You watched other people's trailers and compared them to your own uncut footage. The cruel twist? The people performing the happiest lives are very often the ones doing the worst. A perfect grid is not evidence of a perfect life. Sometimes it's a spotlight aimed away from the mess. So the whole thing is a theater where everyone's acting. Everyone knows everyone's acting, and everyone still believes every act but their own.
Question: if you deleted the app tonight and nobody could ever see it, would you still do the thing you were about to post?
There's a face you've seen 10,000 times. Poreless skin, cat eyes, sculpted cheekbones, plumped lips. It belongs to no one because it belongs to everyone now. A single cyborg face stamped onto millions of women. It even has a name: Instagram face. This is not women being vain. This is a machine training women to hate themselves on a schedule and then selling them the cure. And the company knew. In its own leaked internal research, the people who own Instagram wrote about themselves: we make body image issues worse for 1 in 3 teenage girls. 1 in 3. They typed that sentence. A third of teen girls said that when they already felt bad about their bodies, the app made it worse. They had the receipts. They kept the app exactly as it was. Here's the older machinery underneath. Women have always been taught to watch themselves being watched, to split in two, and become both the woman living her life and the judge scoring her from the outside. Social media didn't invent that. It industrialized it. It handed every girl a front-facing camera, filters that quietly shave down her actual face, and an audience that pays in likes. And the algorithm has a taste. It rewards skin. It rewards the sexualized version.
So it teaches women that the way to be seen is to perform desire. And then a whole economy of influencers, tease, filler, and wellness swoops in to monetize the exact insecurity the platform manufacture. The insecurity is the product. You are the recurring revenue. Question, whose eyes are you getting dressed for? And have you ever actually met them? Around 2012, something broke, and we have the graphs. That's the year the smartphone went from luxury to standard issue. The year social media stopped being optional. And right there the lines jump. Teen depression, anxiety, loneliness, self-harm. Up and up and up. Steepest of all for girls. One researcher found symptoms of major depression among teens rose more than 50% in about a decade. Now, correlation isn't proof, and honest scientists fight hard over how big the real effect is. Some say it's small, but it's a hell of a coincidence. Then there's the look they built on purpose. The fear of missing out, that low hum telling you everyone's somewhere better, with better people, having a better time. There's a name for it, there's a scale that measures it, and the feed is tuned to keep it buzzing. Because a calm person closes the app, an anxious one keeps refreshing. And now the punchline of the whole machine. This thing was sold to you as connection, yet the people who use it most are the loneliest. Heavy users carry roughly double the odds of feeling socially isolated. You reach for it to feel close to people, and it leaves you further away. You post to be seen, and somehow feel more invisible. Here's the receipt that should end the argument. When researchers paid people to quit for a month, they got happier, less anxious, more time with actual humans, about 60 minutes a day handed back like found money. They felt better without it. Then most of them went back anyway. Question, if a substance made you lonelier every year and you couldn't stop, what would you call it?
Here's the tell. The executives who built this feed their own kids something different. Several of them ban it at home. The people who know exactly how the trick works make very sure it's never performed on their own children. That should tell you everything. This was never a glitch waiting for a patch. The harm is the business model. A company that earns its living selling your attention has precisely zero reason to hand you calmer, less addictive, less comparison-soaked time, because your peace of mind doesn't show up on the earnings call. Your outrage does. Your envy does. Your 3 a.m. scroll does. An economist saw this coming back in 1971. A flood of information creates a starvation of attention. They figured out how to form the starvation. And every fix they floated is a magic trick. They tested hiding the like counts, found it barely moved the needle, then buried it in a setting most people will never touch. Regulation crawls, the money sprints. So don't sit around waiting to be rescued by the people getting rich off you. Here's the whole contradiction in one line. You use it to feel connected, and it makes you feel more alone. You post to feel seen, and it makes you feel more invisible. That's not you failing at the app. That's the app succeeding at you. What's on the other side? The backstage you gave away. Boredom, which is where ideas actually come from. A face allowed to just be a face. An afternoon nobody photographed. Friends you touch instead of follow. You are not a brand. You are not content. You are not the product, unless you keep agreeing to be. Question, if you got that time back, all of it, who would you become with it?